All right, welcome back to another episode of Quarantine Space.
Records. Ooh, baby, I got soul laced.
My name is Rio Cho at Rio Cho.
My name is Danny, aka Lazy Days,
And go ahead and introduce yourself, man.
My name is Nariz, hashtag, or what do you call that? The at.
Oh yeah, that one.
Nariz31. 31 Republic is my camp. That's the album I just dropped, debut album. What's up, guys? How you doing?
Yeah. So since we're all about sneakers and we're about hip hop and all of that stuff, I wanted to lead in with some sneaker questions, and I just wanted to ask, like, what got you into sneakers? You said you were a little bit late to the game, so what caught your attention and made you want to start building a collection?
Yeah, man. So I mean, of course, like we all grew up on like basketball and sneakers and the whole culture, but I wasn't from a wealthy family, you know what I'm saying? So I didn't really want to be all about that. And I just didn't really see the purpose at the time, you know what I mean? Like, my always money-wise was like on some other shit.
Yeah.
So, to go and drop, $1.50, two, Benjis on some kicks was just ridiculous to me.
Yeah.
Half the time, like, you didn't even see these guys wearing kicks because, they're just like treasured, so I was just like, I don't get it. I didn't see it,
Yeah.
I didn't get into sneakers honestly until like I'd say about like 3-4 years ago. One of my coworkers, he came in one day and like his shoes caught my attention. I was like, yo, what are those? And again, mind you, I didn't know shit about like brands, in terms of like design, type of shit, So I'm asking him like, yo, what type of kicks is those? And he's like, yo, these are Hirachis. And so really Hirachis were like my gateway.
Yeah.
Into community.
I'm all about my Payless shoes, more or less.
LA gears.
Hirachis are the ones that put me on, man. So like from there, I started watching his footwear. I started paying attention. I started seeing him coming in with the J's, and I didn't know anything. He just really schooled me on the whole culture. And bought my first pair of J's maybe about like 3 years ago. And you know how that goes. You just get the Dixie.
You get one, and you got to get the same one in a different color.
Yep.
That's kind of how I was. Like, I knew about sneakers growing up, but I never had the money either. I was always Payless gang too. And it wasn't until about 4 or 5 years ago that I finally had like some extra money where I was like, okay, I think it's time for me to get back into the sneaker thing. And just like slowly but surely, you add one, you add another, then you need a different color, then you need the retro, then you need, now I need some Adidas. I can't just be all Jordan brand. Now I need this, and now I need that.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at right now. I'm kind of like, I've been all Team Jordan, and then shout out to Sean. He's been kind of like schooling me a little bit on Yeezys. My old coworker kind of schooling me a little bit on Yeezys. So, and real quick, shout out to Lester. He's a coworker that really put me on the sneaker scene. So shout out to Lester.
What is a sneaker grail that you currently have your eye out on? So like it's a shoe that you've seen. Like for me, probably I would say the Travis Scott ones right now, or the Union ones. Straight up.
Why did you read my mind, man? It was gonna be the or the these.
Nice.
Sick. Yeah. Which of the Unions do you like more? Do you like the blue and the red one, or do you like the black toe with the silver upper?
Ooh, the black toe with the silver upper. I'm a sucker for black, white, like original colorway.
It's so crisp, right?
Yeah, I love that shit. Like, don't get me wrong, the other colorway is dope as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the other colorway is like the way it complements of each other. It's like it has like that classic vibe, but for the black toe one, it's super clean. The way they execute it, even with like the laces and then the threading and the UNLA logo, it's fucking perfect. Like that to me is the perfect Jordan shoe. It doesn't get any better than that.
Talking about the kicks now, you sent me over 3 shoes that are like your personal collection favorites. Talk about I would like a little bit of backstory on how you caught those, how you heard about those, and just show us those shoes, man.
All right, for sure. So I'm gonna start off with the ones I use often. These are like in my rotation. These are the black cement threes.
Yes,
Classic.
Grail, right there.
Yep. Classic.
Love these kicks. These are one of the first ones I really copped, and so I was really excited when I copped them.
Yeah.
And I sat on them for a while, but then when I threw them on, I was just like, man, these shoes are amazing.
Yeah.
I love the shoes. They're comfy. Of course, the threes are a comfortable shoe. You know, a little bit bulkier, a lot more cushion.
Yeah.
So, and then just the colorway on it. You know, just the reverse on the black. Print.
Definitely goes with everything too. Like that's the shoe that, like, you know, like you can't unmatch with those shoes. Those shoes are
you can go anywhere. You can rock anything.
Yep.
That's such a clean.
It's cold.
These are in my rotation all the time. So I love these shoes. Second ones, shout out to my boy Edwin. We just met recently to a mutual homie this year, and so when I got into the shoe game, it was a little bit after these shoes dropped.
Yeah.
And so I didn't really know too much about them at the time. And then when I really got into them, I was like, damn, man, I wish I could find that shoe, right?
Yeah.
And it was around, you know what I mean? Obviously, like on StockX, Go, but I didn't want to like drop the money, you know.
Yeah, you wanted to get it for a price you're comfortable with.
Yeah.
Shout out to my boy Edwin, the homie hookup. He hooked it up. He had these on dead stock, and I've worn them maybe twice. I love these shoes. Is the white cement fours.
Nice.
White cement fours.
Yeah, that cement colorway. I'm sensing a theme here. That cement. You're feeling that cement colorway.
And this shoe is just like fours, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
the thing about threes and fours is not only are they comfortable as fuck, they're sturdy as fuck. You can wear them for years and years, up, and they'll only look better.
Like the two shows, I mean, the two shoes automatically prove that, right? Like you're just like, you're like, I've been rocking these, and I was like, dude, they look brand new still. Like legit still look brand new. And then your third shoe right here, last but certainly not the least.
So this one is still sitting on ice.
On ice.
On ice.
This is probably one of the most expensive shoes I bought because.
Okay.
Do you feel comfortable disclosing the amount?
Yeah. How much did you drop? Did you get it before the price went up?
So, yes and no. Yes and no.
Okay.
No, it hurts me. It hurts me to say this story, but I was young.
Very proud.
I didn't know better.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Like,
We've all overpaid.
Yeah. This is like the second month into me being really about like to learn about them, right?
Okay. Yeah.
I had my eyes done this, and I got them at retail, right? I'm at retail, but it wasn't in my size. It was a size 12. I'm a 9.5.
Ooh,
9.5 size of me, right?
Yeah.
12. Try to like swap them was gonna be a mission.
Yeah.
I was able to swap them, but with the price, a little bit pain on top.
Yeah. Okay.
So it hurt.
Okay.
It hurt a lot. But I know these bread those.
Nice.
Those
And these
nice.
are probably
Those are clean as fuck.
I have not thrown these in yet, but when I do,
planning to, or are you just gonna keep them on ice?
No, they're mandatory going to be thrown on. It's just the right time.
Yeah, that's true. You're like next music video whenever it's like you got to flex on that music video a little bit, you know.
Awesome. Those are probably one of my favorites that have been sitting there.
Yeah, those are fire as fuck. Those I've been hunting those for a while. I've been keeping my eye out, but with the documentary right now, like all Jordan 1 prices are up, so it's getting even harder and harder. Now I'm kind of like, do I get it now before it goes stupid high and then they're unattainable, or do I buy 2 pairs, sell 1, and I'm just
With all the shoes that we just talked about, one of your songs, the one that you sent me, is titled Kicks, right? It's titled Kick. So what got you basically to, write a song about shoes at this point? Like, I know you're new to the sneaker game and all of that. Like what influences did you use for that song in itself?
It was pretty simple, really, man. Because I mean, in building this album, it's my debut album, you know, and I've been recording for like 15 years.
Yeah.
I've been recording for a long time, a lot of different projects, you know, little small projects. But for a debut album, I want to bring something correct, you know, a little bit of all my styles that I've, you know, developed over the years, and so something a little bit more on that mainstream. You know, you can rock with it. You can throw it in a commercial, you know what I'm saying? And at the same time, I wanted to talk about the things that I enjoy doing, you know, my hobbies, which are kicks, beans, weed, and records, which is vinyl.
Yeah, I saw that music video where you're kind of vinyl hunting, right? Like it's one of those record hunting. I know Danny is a big fan of records. Like, he always has some of the sickest vinyls every time I see him. So I definitely.
Oh man, maybe we might have to do a separate podcast and talk about that entirely.
I'm all about it. Yeah, I'm all about it.
Yeah. Another side of it is, how did you generally just like get started with music? You said 15 years. So like, what got you like working on music for 15 years, and then what finally got you to the point of like, okay, I'm gonna release an album now? Because you said this is your debut album. 15 years and it running. It's been
yeah. What better time to drop a debut album and try to book shows? But no, I've been doing music for a long time, man. I've been very passionate about it, and really, what kicked me off in like saying like, you know what, I want to do this shit is you know, I was fortunate going to high school. You know, I wasn't really school focused at the time, and you know, introduced me to a studio within the high school, like a legitimate studio, and that was it, man. Like I was just like sold. You know, I graduated late because I was in that studio all the time. But yeah, man, that's what started off, and then just started networking from a lot of people there. Built my own little crew, you know, my network called 31 Republic. 31 Republic stands for California, 31st state in the United States.
Oh, that's creative. That's nice.
31 Republic. And so, yeah, that's what I've been really pushing. It's like a movement, you know what I'm saying? Like, I have like my little group, it's kind of dismantled. And then I decided, you know, when I was at a place of confidence and knowing that, like, okay, I'm ready to push this thing, like, then, self-titled album, 31 Republic. And, yeah, man, I'm proud of it. You know, I've built a team over the past year. And, yeah, man, we have some big things in store for you guys. So I'm excited about, you know, just, you know, keep on pushing, you know, keep on networking, you know, building the scene.
That's super dope.
If you could compare your unique style of music to a shoe, like what shoe do you think it would be? Because that's the thing that, like, I think Rio and I really dig, is just you have your unique style, and definitely Cali influence. So we love that shit. We're not the biggest fans, or at least I'm not the biggest fan of mumble rap. So when I heard your sound, I was like, yes, this is dope.
Yeah. Damn. That's a fucking great question, man. That is a super good question, because I don't want to narrow it down to Jordans.
Yeah, it could be any shoe of all time.
Yeah. So that's.
Or you could even pick like any two shoes. It doesn't have to be just one. It could be because it's a combination of things that lead you to your style. So it could also be a combination of shoes.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, man, that's a tough one. You know what? For the sake of just staying within like a lane of Jordans and whatnot, I'll just say the Unions. You know.
There you go.
The Unions. Nice.
Something fresh, innovative. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I feel like my style has incorporated some of the old school along with the new, and all the genres in between that influence all the music that you call hip hop. You know what I'm saying? Because hip hop isn't nothing without every other genre out there.
Yeah, that's a perfect answer right there.
And speaking of influences, what are your musical influences? Since now we know, like, okay, what shoe you relate to with your music style. What is your personal musical influences during this 15 year?
Like, what were you slapping growing up that got you into it, and what are you slapping now?
Hip hop. What influenced me into hip hop was really a Tribe Called Quest.
Nice.
The first time, it was like over. Like, I was like, what do I want to do? You know what I'm saying? And
they're the coolest dudes in the game.
Yeah, man, and through them, that's where I really wanted to know who are they sampling, and then I started listening to all these other genres, jazz and blues and funk, all these different artists. So there's so many, man. There's so many, but like I would say the one that really opened the doors for me would be a Tribe Called Quest. really
Dude,
got.
the samples that Q-Tip was doing, he was because he was like the original Kanye. He would just go out, he would just listen to record after record after record. He's like, I need this. This tiny little 4-second loop is gonna be our hit record right
Yeah, and it
Mhm.
was. I mean, the thing
Yeah.
about Q-Tip, though, you hear about all these stories. Q-Tip is like low key, possibly one of the most respected rappers in the game. Like he knows everybody.
And
know,
underrated
like-
producer
Yeah,
because this guy also is dropping beats like on
Yeah.
people's like legit classic albums.
yeah,
And
Yeah.
yeah. You just hear stories from Questlove, and then you'll hear a story from like Dave Chappelle. Just like every time any of those two tell a story, Q-Tip is there somehow. Like he's just
Yeah.
he's like the most well-connected musical artist I've ever seen. Since we're talking about your debut album as well, what obstacles do you feel like you've had to overcome during this whole quarantine, and how are you staying motivated?
honestly, the biggest obstacle wouldn't even be like this whole pandemic and not being able to go outside.
Mhm.
It's been the effects of it. Like the biggest obstacle for me has been staying motivated, like self-motivated. You know what I mean? Like, cause they're not having us go out all over the place, but you can find alternatives to being creative and make something possible. You know, and for the first few weeks, I'm not gonna lie, man. Like, I let that shit affect me and just like,
Yeah,
wasn't
Yeah.
motivating, you know, wasn't motivating my team,
Yeah.
and so you know, thankfully I had a couple people reach out, you know, just check in,
yeah,
and then kind of just my jump start be like, yo, like let's go, you know, and
yeah.
you know, that's really been the biggest obstacle. But I feel like my team and I are at a good place right now, you
There you
know,
go.
and we're ready to get some things going, you know, jump started, go.
And then, what's your creative process right now?
Well, shout out to the whole Nariz team because they've really been the ones that inspired the idea. You know, we were trying to brainstorm how can we get creative during this time, and they had mentioned, yo, like everybody's doing lives. You know, mostly DJs are doing lives. You know, but you do all these different types of things. You do DJing, you play guitar, you know, you make beats, rap, all that shit. So why don't you incorporate that into like a live, make it like a series, you know? And so that's how Nadi's Live started. And I'm doing lives every Friday from 5 to 7, you know, on IG Live. And every week is just a different type of style, genre, whatever topic, you know, just trying to engage people, keep people, you know, entertained for at least a good 2 hours out of the week. Why not, you know?
But when you're building songs, how does that process work? Are you more of like, I'm gonna write this down on a piece of paper? Do you like bump a couple of beats, get some verses going on so you can catch a flow? Like, how does that process come along?
Each process varies, you know.
Okay.
Sometimes I'm just like writing in my head already, you know, and I have like the whole song already written down in my head. I don't have a beat. You know, there's other times where I need the beat, you know, and someone there to like bounce off vibes and ideas.
Okay.
You know, other times, you know, I'm gonna have the beat and I have nothing coming to me, you know, so
Yeah.
it just varies. If I really have to like sit down and, you know, I don't want to force a song, but
Yeah.
if I have to meet a deadline, you know, for a collab or something like that, you know, I have my structure of like songwriting, and it's very much like English. Like I look like songwriting like English. You know, you have, when you write a paper, you have like your intro, your body, right? And so your intro is like your first verse. Like, what are you like introducing? What are you talking about, right? And then your second verse is like your meat. Like, this is the content. And then your third verse is like wrapping it up. You know, especially when it comes to something like that. It's just, there's a structure that I'm going off of. I love playing with patterns with my wordplay. So it just varies. You know, shout out to my engineer Trisoul because he really helped me in this process with this album and allowed me to step away and let people have some type of other creative control that can make it sound good. You know, a little bit of tune in the album, and I was just like, but you know, the ending process sounds dope. So
it's true. Yeah, I mean, like, you got to trust in your engineer. Your engineer knows, you know. So it's like having a dope engineer is a huge step forward in the album making process. Oh, speaking about vinyls and stuff, since Danny's here, what are your top 5 vinyls that you own? That you really, I'm like, this is including you, Danny. I want you to give me a top 5. I want Nadiz to give me a top 5. Top 5 albums that you own.
Okay. So I would say some of the Third Man records are probably some of my prized possessions. For a while, I was just collecting. So Jack White has Third Man records, and every 3 months he drops like a 4 or 5 vinyl record set of either White Stripes, Jack White shit, stuff like that. So I would say some of those for sure are in there. Some I bought back when I was hitting up Amoeba. I found like this old school Creedence Clearwater Revival record that like, I showed my dad and his eyes lit up because that dude's a big CCR fan.
Yeah.
So that for sure is in there. A Led Zeppelin 4 album. Probably, yeah, for sure Led Zeppelin. And then I would also say I got the Nas and Damian Marley Distant Relatives album just because to me that's like a top 5 album. So to be able to slap that, sometimes you just gotta wake up and listen to Nah Mean and just fucking you're on 10, like you're ready to take over the world. Nah Mean.
True. How about you, Nariz? Your top 5 final albums?
Oh, that's so hard, but I got a couple right here. So you do a hard fall. But this one I waited like a year for it to come in. But this is J. Cole's KOD. I haven't opened it, and if you look really close, he's got a little signature on that bitch.
There you go.
Wait, did you get that? Did you actually get that signed by?
It was like through the website thing, so who knows if he actually got it or not.
Hey, it's still a signature though.
That's true. Nice.
Probably near Hawthorne's first.
Ooh, dang, that's a fly looking vinyl, bro.
Dope ass album, dope ass artist, near Hawthorne.
Okay.
Shit. Let's see what's the next one. Probably Ramp.
Nice.
Ramp, the old school artist, and most don't know it's Roy Ayers, and Roy Ayers is sampled by like many of the great.
I don't know, but that's a cool album. That's the thing about albums, though, too. Like vinyl albums, this artwork is like on.
Yes.
I'll probably throw this in here, even though it's probably not in my top 5 album-wise in my collection.
Yeah.
But you're talking about Tribe.
Yes.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. I was wondering when you were gonna pull out a Tribe Called Quest. I was like, bro.
And last but not least, we gotta do like California Love, baby. So
Nice.
Tupac.
Nice.
Yeah.
You gotta do it. But what got both of y'all, into vinyl?
Yeah, good question. So for me, it was about 5-6 years back. My dad was randomly gifted by one of his friends like this old school vinyl set. So I was like, oh, that's dope. But we didn't have any records. So I was like, don't worry, Dad. Like, I hopped on Amazon, and first thing I looked up, Jimi Hendrix, found one for like $11.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right. I was like, so, you got Jimmy riffing on the guitar.
Yep.
And then the way my brain works is like, all right, I got one record. What's the next one? All right, we have this vinyl record player, but it's one from Kohl's. It's a cheapie. How about we get a nicer one? So just from there, it just kind of like, I got Jimmy. Now I need Zeppelin. Oh, okay. I got all these rock albums. Now I need live ones because live ones sound iller. And all right, I got all these rock records. Now I need hip hop records. I need my Twisted Dark Fantasy. I need the Tribe. I need Nas and Damian Marley.
Nice. How about you, Nariz? What got you into that vinyl life?
Well, honestly, I mean, because of music, it just goes parallel to it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but my brother-in-law, when I was younger, he was a DJ, and he was all about house and trance and hardcore, like early, like heavy shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like drum and bass, and so that's what really introduced me to like vinyl. But just having some of my parents' records, my mom's records, a lot of old Spanish music, oldies, Motown stuff, and then just some random like off the wall like funk stuff in there, some random funk, and so this is what really like pulled me in. But then when I moved, to where I'm at now, some of my friends had introduced me to like they spin as well, so that's what just like catapulted me to like the record stores and the record and beat swap meets and smorgasbords boards and all that.
Vinyl hunting, for me, like online purchases are good, but vinyl hunting is like,
there's nothing better.
Nariz, I'm gonna hand the floor off to you, man. All the plugs, tell the people where they can get your music, check out your music videos, cop all your items and all that stuff, man.
First off, I want to thank you guys for having me on. I really do appreciate it. You know what I mean? And I love what you guys are doing with the whole sneaker thing.
Appreciate that.
Keep on pushing it. You know, 'cause I love looking at all your guys' posts. You know. But yeah, you can find the music on Nariz31.com. From there, you can find all the platforms. It's on all streaming platforms. The album, music videos, everything right there on Nariz31.com. Yeah, also same thing with like Instagram, Twitter, Nariz31, Nariz31, Nariz31.
Consistent.
Yeah, man. I have some really good things coming up. We have a second music video already finished. Shout out to Mighty Muds who shot it. It's for the song called "Keep It Catchy," and I was gonna push it out like a week ago, and with everything going on right now, it's just like let me wait till it kind of settles down and then I'll drop it. So kind of on standby, but we have some merch that we're putting together. Some different video content and whatnot in the works right now. Doing our best to work around the precautions and everything, and also maintaining everybody's safety as a priority. So, we're getting creative with it.
And lastly, tell the people why they should listen to you and why they should care.
Why they should care and why they should listen to me. Well, listen, if you want a fresh breath of air, you know what I mean? Like, get away from that negative shit. Get away from all the redundant shit that you'd be hearing on the radio all the fucking time in terms of that genre. Come listen to me, man. Come over here, listen, because I'm not just providing you with the hip hop shit. You give me a guitar, and I'm giving you a whole different genre. You're giving me a bass, and I'm giving you a whole different genre. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, come listen over here. I'm bringing the positive vibes as well. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not trying to bring no hate. Been through all that shit, over it. You know what I mean? And we're just at a growing sexy space now. You know what I'm saying? So if you want some growing and sexy music, come over here.
That's that new hashtag right there. Hashtag grown and sexy. All right, man. This has been another episode of Quarantine Space, brought to you by Heard Him Say Network. My name is Rio Cho at Rio Cho.
My name is Danny, aka Lazy Days.
And we have our special guest Nariz. Last plug in, man.
31, Nariz31 at Nariz31. 31 Republic is the debut album. Go check it out on all streaming platforms.
Yeah.
Cue the music.
When I spark it up and blaze it, I'm feeling quite amazing. Can't really explain it. Coming off a 3.5-year vacation from tasting.